Welcome back to the Difference Engine podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Oakes. I've been doing a lot of reflection recently on motivators for people, doing a lot of personality assessments. And this, to me, seems like this is for sure one area in professional life that's lagging in terms of attention and awareness, and especially using it for people's betterment in business. What I mean by that is there's been a whole era of jokes around like gift cards and pizza parties, but I don't see that we've really graduated much beyond that besides just making jokes about it. It's very the reason it's funny is it's like very shorthand and sloppy. It's basically management as saying to you, "Hey, I didn't want to take the time to get to know you at all." You're an asset to our company as long as you stay in your cubicle. So the reason this matters is because a lot of business owners are economically motivated. They have ROI more to the front of their brain than most people. And that's not to say they're not relational. It's not to say they don't care even. But business owners, by and large, can see the result and benefit of being a business owner, i.e., more time freedom, more income, not afraid of risk. And because of that, they think that everyone else is economically motivated as well. Not always the case. So there's a lot of personality assessments you can take for this. The one I use a lot is DISC, D-I-S-C, but there's a lot of good ones out there. And you can do just internal questioning or find a worksheet online, ask about your personal motivations as a human. Well, there's a lot of them. So in the DISC assessment I use, there's 7. And for instance, like one of them is altruism. So people like to give back, philanthropy. So they might align strongly with a company and like working with a company that has a high mission, high purpose, and is very active in the community and offers a lot of resources and support. And then on the other side, there might be someone who's very economically motivated, and they attract people who are economically motivated. And for those people, bonuses might work, a high comp structure, a high performance plan, something like that. The problem is people kind of default to those as the main thing. It's at the expense of other ones. So economic is another one of those. One of them is aesthetic, specifically harmony, and that can be visual harmony. So you might find that someone who's good at performing in a certain position, but if the physical environment is grating on their senses, they can't keep working there, or they'll struggle to. It'll be hard for them. Now that conversely can be used as if they do work in an area that isn't visually harmonious or balanced, and they're in a role that lets them, they can be ones that make the environment more visually engaging, stimulating, welcoming. That could be an event planner, administrative assistant. So motivators also tie into like strengths, goals, like what they're best at and what they enjoy doing. Some people are individualists at heart. They really care about being able to show their colors, put their stamp on things, owning projects, making sure people know it was their work, and do not want to be boxed in, and do not want to do things cookie cutter, and do not want to wear a uniform. So knowing those things about people in your organization is key to as much as it's almost better sometimes to not incentivize if you're going to incentivize wrong. It can be almost insulting to try to give people accolades and rewards that so badly misalign with what they really care about most. Some people want recognition. They want the ability to move up. They want to be trained and invested in and treated like they are an asset going somewhere in the company. And if they feel stagnant, they're gone. And if that sounds overwhelming, if you're a business owner listening to this and you think that's way too much work for each individual person, I'll tell you what, handling your HR churn is also a lot of work. You don't have to have a fingerprint map of every single person in your business and cater to every single little thing that comes across their brain in terms of what they want out of life. But man, would you stand out head and shoulders above competition in your industry and just the workplace in general, the marketplace in general, if you took a little time to know what the main two or even one motivating factors in a person's psyche were, it would make a world of difference. And if you have a team, like most of the teams I coach, the largest is like 70, 80, but most of them are like 5, 10, 15 people. How hard would it be to have 15 people compiled into one document with their names on it? And it's like 3 pages long. And then you just review that once a week. You would know your people so well at the end of a month. And then how much more bought in are they working with you rather than the long cycle of like letting someone go or putting on a performance plan, or they leave and then you have to replace that position and train that new person and then make them feel at home and hope that doesn't happen again. So nothing worthwhile is done quickly. Pretty much golden rule of time and business. If you make it worthwhile and make it last, it needs to be done with forethought, with some planning and some proactivity involved in it. And that doesn't mean just, throwing occasional parties and a Christmas bonus. People are often motivated by things that are surprisingly not economic. That's why we go to work, is for the economic reward. That's why we go open business. But it doesn't fully encapsulate a human being. And if you're going to spend 7 or 8 or 10 hours in a place and the only thing you get out of it is money, that is a grind. That is the definition of a grind. That is soul sucking, to just keep showing up, letting that be your only motivation. I keep going back to my paycheck, even though nothing else there aligns for me. That's not going to win you any employment awards, employment of the year awards, anything like that. So I think HR, relationships, building your team. I don't even like the term HR, to be honest with you. It sounds corporate and very objectifying in a way. We don't even use the word employees when I coach, and my colleagues. We use team members. It's the team, because you belong to something and you cooperate for a common goal. And business owners, the common goal is not to make you more money. When I do an alignment with a new client and we bring a new client on, we do a vision and mission statement with the business owner. What is the North Star guiding 100-year goal of your business? Like Apple at one point was to put a computer in every single home. That was a big thing with their individuality. And I'm pretty sure it was Apple that said that. That was their mission. But then you also have a vision of what the business does for you as a person. What things is it going to fulfill in your life? Because you started the business for you, not for your team members and not for your clients. You started the business for you, Mr. Mrs. Business Owner. So what is that thing that it satisfies for you? And then we do the team mission, because a team mission cannot be whatever your personal vision is. Whatever you want the business to achieve for you is just yours, and your team can't rally around it. Now, they might care enough to hear about it if they're really close and loyal, but they can't get up to work on a Monday morning excited about your goals for your life. That's crazy. So they have to have a common goal to rally around as well that excites them, that they get to look at and say, yeah, we will put in the time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears to achieve this with you, because we believe in it too, because it satisfies something in us as people, not because it's going to make the company that much better, because when we leave it, we leave the company too. So if you have questions on this or want more info, details to chat about, it's The Difference Engine on all platforms is my handle. Hit the DMs and I will talk with you. Have a great week.